Hello guys, Spinner94 here today, bringing you a team battle. Me and Fardream teamed up on stream to verse random people who popped along the stream. So this battle is against Lauren, keeper of the question, and Melvin, who popped along the stream for the first time. So we just had this battle and we just agreed like 2v2s, like they're on a team, we're on a team, and basically we, Fardream, we try to use as many Gen 1s as we can to see how this battle goes, but that kind of got a bit messed up, so we just ended up jumping into the battle anyway. So they lit off with Mew and Romeo, which is a great name for a Meowstic, Romeo and Juliet. And I decided to send out Girl's Best Friend, and he sent out his Scrafty here, nice and shiny one. So the Scrafty's going to go for the fake out on the Meowstic to stop it being a tricky sod, as I'm going to go for a Toxic on the Mew, just to get some kind of damage going off. So the Scrafty does get Shadow Ball, it's very ineffective, because Scrafty's bulky as hell anyway. So I do poison this thing, yes I'm going to get Synchronized Poison back, but I am a Rest Sleep Talk set, so I'm really not too bothered about status conditions at this point. So, we'll see the Romeo's got leftovers on it, so it looks like it's going to be a classic prankster set. So, after the poison and all that kicks in, I believe I either go for a Rest or a Dragon Tail. I think it's more likely a Rest just to get rid of the poison. So, in comes this Houndoom in, and this thing can be quite a threat when it gets set up, as Romeo's going to set up a Reflect here. So, this thing is going to start just screening and upright annoying us, as Knockoff's going to hit that Romeo and do a ton of damage to it. I'm surprised it didn't kill. So, this Fardream's probably using a very bulky set here. So, Lickitung is, of course, going to rest. I'm asleep, but I am Sleep Talk, so I can hope for the best for a Dragon Tail. So Fardream does make a bit of a misplay here as we go into Charizard here, as the Houndoom's going to Mega Evolve. I think he expected some flame attacks going Scrafty's way, but Romeo goes for Thunder Wave here, and that kind of shuts down poor old Charizard here. Charizard does not like being paralyzed, as Foul Play is going to hit the Charizard and cause quite the chunk of damage, which is a bloody shame, as I'm going to go for a Sleep Talk here, and anything will do, Toxic, and of course I get Rest. I'm like, damn it, I wanted Toxic here, but you know, you just kind of win at times with Rest, Sleep Talk. So Charizard's going to Mega Evolve here into Charizard X, as Romeo's going to set up a light screen here, so it's double screens on their side of the field, so they're very well protected, as Houndoom's going to go for a Crunch. And that does a good chunk of damage to Char, and it gets his defense drop. So Char's probably not living another turn, as Earthquake is going to hit up everything on this field. Houndoom's going to take quite a bit, and I get critical hit, but luckily I'm bulky enough to live that out as we finally kill off this Romeo. At least something died this turn. As I'm going to Sleep Talk again, I'm hoping for the best, and I do manage to get Toxic here and Toxic that Houndoom, which is a case, thank God for that, because the residual damage will help. I would have preferred a Thunder Wave or something, but Toxic will do, at least it's going to die eventually. So, Lance is incoming here, and this is the Glade. I wasn't quite sure what would happen here. I expected Lickitung to die this turn. I expected a close combat to the face or something along them lines. So, I believe I'd just go for a Dragon Tail here. But this thing actually has Bulk Up, so this is an interesting set. Bulk Up instead of Sword Dance. I must admit, I didn't expect that, as Inferno's going to hit Lickitung and do quite a chunk of damage here, as Char's going to go straight to the Dragon Claw, and that does nothing after that Bulk Up. So, the use for Bulk Up and see already, if I go for Dragon Tail and get this thing out of here, I don't want anything setting up at this point. So Basilisk is incoming here, which is this Arbok, this Arbok set is bloody ridiculous to verse. It is really tough actually. So I get hit with a Foul Play here, but Lickitung is just bulking everything out, as this thing's going to set up a coil, as I'm just going to go for a Dragon Tail, and Fardream is of course going to go for an Earthquake. So everybody here gets hit up quite here. The Houndoom is finally killed off, thank God for that. At least the poison damage might be taking it out if it hadn't died. As I go for a Dragon Tail, hit that Basilisk and get it off the field. I do not want anything setting up here. So Lant is incoming here, and that is not good, as Celebi is going to come out. So Celebi's an interesting Pokemon. I don't verse from any of these, as I'm going to get Drain Punched, and that's unfortunately going to kill off Lickitung, which is about right. I'm bulky, but I can't take super effective moves, as Pole Lickitung is going to die here. So Ancient Power is incoming from the Celebi here, and that is definitely going to kill Charizard. So we got mopped up on that side of the field there. We've got absolute death and destruction. So, in comes Scrafty here, which is a pretty good bet, as long as this Glade doesn't do anything. As I go into Alakazam here, so Scrafty goes for a Fake Out on the Celebi to shut this thing down, as I go for a Shadow Ball on this Glade here. And look at how little damage this does. That does not do too much to this thing, as it decides to go for a Bulk Up, which I believe was a misclick on Lauren's part, so unlucky on that, but it's a kind of a good job it did, because that Glade probably could have done some damage, as I go for another Shadow Ball, and I do finally kill off this Lance here. I think the screen's finally ward off there, so I was able to kill it. As Magical Leaf is going to hit this Alakazam, but it's not going to do too much as Magical Leaf. Yes, you always have the chance to hit, but it doesn't cause a lot of damage. As that, talking of a lot of damage, that knockoff does a ton of damage to that Celebi. As Basilisk is going to come out, so once I get rid of the Celebi here, This thing isn't going to be quite as threatening, obviously, because it's dead, but the Arbok here we're quite worried about, as it goes for Gunk Shot on Scrafty, but Scrafty just manages to live that, which I was well surprised at, as this thing goes for a Drain Punch, and it honestly does not do too much of this thing, as it resists it, as Arbok can be built quite bulky as well. So it's an interesting dilemma here. We've got a Basilisk and we've got a Mew on the field, so we had to decide which one of these was worth killing. As I do decide to go for the Psy Shock, unfortunately for Laura, and I have to kill this thing off, because if this thing gets set up anymore, it's going to just destroy us all. As Mew just decided to go for the Shadow Ball here on the Alakazam, but I do manage to live that on 9 health, so this is probably a bulkier set, which is, well, I'd say, which is explain why it lives the knockoff, but it gets a crit and kills off that Mew. That critical hit probably mattered. So that was a team battle for me and Fardream we had on our stream. Good battle, guys. I really enjoyed that one. And remember, as always, remember to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is Spinning94, hoping you have a good day.